So welcome everyone, happy Sunday. We're gonna need some props today. Again, if you don't have them, it's fine. It's just nice to have the props. 2 blocks or 2 books, a strap or a towel, and then a firm pillow. If you wanna be close to a wall or a chair for balance today, grab that. You can also have, if your knees are a little bit tender, you can grab a towel for underneath your knees or a blanket. That might be nice. So bolster will be at the end of class. So you can just put it off to the side. Strap, we might use it at the beginning here. So have it close to you. And then blocks will be at the top of the mat. That's where they'll be most useful. And we'll get started. We're gonna do a little twisting today, little upper body today. So we're gonna come onto our backs. And you're just gonna start with your feet planted, your hands on your belly, and just relax the back of the head into the ground, the shoulders soften, and just close down through the eyes, taking a couple moments here just to arrive, just to start to connect to the body, connect to the breath. Just start to notice where you're meeting yourself today. And so trying to make this practice a nourishing practice. We're giving our bodies exactly what they need today. We're giving our mind exactly what it needs. We're just trying to restore, we're trying to strengthen, we're trying to open, be a little bit more connected to what's happening inside of us today. So please take breaks when you need to, modify when you need to. I give lots of different variations. So making sure that you are, again, honoring how you feel today. We're going to take our knees into the chest. I'm going to bring my arms into the cactus position. So press down through the shoulders, press down through the hands as much as you can. Squeeze the knees into your chest so you feel your core start to turn on. I'm going to squeeze the inner thighs. The big toes are hugging in towards center, and I'm going to tip my knees over to the right. Don't let them come to the ground. Just let them hover the ground as the left shoulder presses into the earth. We come back through center on the inhale, and then exhale. The knees are going to go over to the left. The right shoulder stays heavy into the ground. Back through center. So you're only going as far as that shoulder stays on the ground. Okay, and bring the legs over to the right. So you start to feel the obliques starting to turn on. Come back through center on the inhale. Exhale, tip the knees over to the left. You're going to also start to feel a nice stretch there in the upper back, in the shoulders. We're going to tip our knees over to the right. You're going to hold here. And then take the legs down to the ground. Stay in this twist. Inhale. And exhale. We'll come back through center. You're going to take your right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg down along the mat. And we're just going to hug that knee in. Move it around a little bit so we start to massage the hip crease. And then you're trying to straighten through this bottom leg any amount that you can, spreading through your toes. Okay, we're going to extend the right leg. This is where you might want your strap. So you can take the strap around the bottom of the foot here. You can also hold on to the back of your leg. This bottom knee can bend if you need to. Okay, we're going to pulse the leg. So opening up through the hamstring here, the calf, and you're just pulsing in and out a few times. Okay, and just being mindful, noticing where, you can take this and where, you're not taking it today. Okay, so being very mindful of your edge today. Okay, and just warming up. You're gonna bring that leg a little closer to your chest. Take a nice, good, generous breath. And then we'll slowly bend that top knee, release the foot down, release the strap if you used it. Inhale here and exhale. Taking the knees again into the chest. I want to squeeze the legs together, squeeze the big toes together. I feel my core turn on. Arms come into the cactus position. So really pressing the shoulders down a little bit more equally, opening up through the chest. Take the knees over to the left, let them hover. Maybe you go a little deeper this time. And then come back through center, inhale. Exhale, tip your legs over to the right. So really glue the shoulders into the ground. Back through center, inhale. Exhale, tip the knees to the left. Keep the gaze up. The neck is nice and long, and try to soften what you can in your jaw. Soften what you can in your throat. I'm going to tip my knees over to the left. You're going to pause, hover for a moment. Go as far as you can take it, and then take the legs down. Take a nice good breath here. Inhale. And then exhale, go a little deeper into the twist. We'll come back through center. Take your left knee into your chest, extend your right leg down along the mat. And the same thing, I'm going to massage. So move the knee a little bit side to side, maybe do a couple little circles, releasing that hip crease area. We're going to extend the left leg for that hamstring stretch. So again, you can take the strap around the foot if you'd like. Okay. You can also just clasp the hands behind the back of the leg. And you're going to pulse the leg in and out. Okay. So just, I love this for warming up through the backs of the legs, just little tiny pulses. If you need to, you bend your bottom knee. And just take a couple moments here. Keep the gaze up. Again, the neck long. We're not tensing there. Good. Now hug it in and just pause. Take a breath. Maybe straighten the leg a tiny bit more. And then we'll slowly bend the knee in. Release the foot down. You're going to take the right knee into the chest again, extend the left leg down along the mat. Take the hands behind the head, lift the shoulders, relax the head into the hands. Hover your bottom foot and start to twist to the right. And then switch, left knee to your chest, right elbow reaches towards the knee. So little bicycles here, twisting. Okay, so pressing the low back into the floor and then try to reach that elbow towards the opposite knee. Again, try not to tense in your neck or pull on your neck. Let your head rest into your hands. And I really want you to focus on this work coming from your core, from your center. Good. Now just bring your right knee into your chest. Left elbow reaches towards the outside of the knee. Hold for 3. Building the heat in our center for 2. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And then we'll come back through center. Left knee into the chest. Extend your right. Reach that right elbow towards the left leg. Try to get to the outside of the knee a little bit. Hold for 3. Energize through your legs. For 2, squeeze that left knee in a little bit more. And then come back through center. Hug everything in. Let your head go. Feel free to move around a little bit. Massaging through the back of the pelvis, the low back. And then we're going to rock ourselves up to seated. You take as many rocks as you need. And then we'll come on to one hip. We'll make our way into the tabletop position. So you're going to turn your right fingertips to point back for this wrist stretch, okay? Left hand's going to support you here. Curl the toes under and just lean a little bit back, a little bit forward. So again, that little pulsing action. Each pulse, you might go a little deeper. Okay, this right arm is somewhat straight. I'm pressing through all my fingers and knuckles. Now, you can stay here. You can hold out in the stretch, move around a little bit. You're going to come with me in this variation. Okay, so I'm going to curl my toes under. I'm going to lift my knees a little bit off the ground. Really push down through your right hand. You're going to try to walk around your wrist. So staying on your tippy toes, staying as low as you can to the ground. Now, this left hand can stay on the ground or you can hover it. You're walking around the wrist. And I'm going to try to keep the hand exactly where it is. Don't change anything. You're rotating in the arm up into the shoulder until you start to feel a stretch. And you're going to hold here for 1, in a little crouch position. For 2, press down through each finger. Now I'm going backwards. So you're walking backwards all the way back around, unraveling yourself. You're staying as low as you can to the ground. If you need the hand on the ground for help, for support, go for it. Take your knees down to the ground. Sit back till you feel a deeper stretch. Peel the base of your hand and your thumb off of the mat. reaching the thumb away from center, and then peel through each finger, open and close the hand, and then just shake it out a little bit, side to side, a little bit forward and back. Good, let's try the other side. Turn the left fingertips to point back here, and same thing, okay? So little pulses, leaning a little forward, a little bit back. Just noticing this wrist, noticing this forearm, connecting each finger to the ground is very important. Okay, now you can keep doing this. You can hold out in the stretch, or you can try this variation. So you're gonna curl the toes under. I'm gonna lift the knees a little bit off the ground. You're gonna go for a walk. So to the left this time around the wrist. Stay as low as you can to the ground. Again, you can use your right hand as support, or you can start to challenge yourself, start to hover the hands, staying in this little crouch position until you start to feel a stretch there, okay? So don't rush this. Feel free to use this hand for support. Keep the fingers pointed back. Try to straighten the arm a little bit more. Take one more good breath. You're gonna walk yourself back. So stay nice and low to the ground. A little bit of coordination here. Lots of core. Use your hand as support to bring yourself back down if you need. And then sit back, lift the palm, lift the thumb, reach the thumb away from center, get a nice stretch there, and then peel through each finger. Open and close the hands. Good, shake it out. Okay, one little fun, crazy thing. Okay, so you're gonna come into that tabletop again. Okay, again, index fingers are parallel. Each finger is really connected to the ground, really rooted. Curl the toes under, lift your knees an inch off the floor. You could stay here. You can keep doing a couple little cat and cows if you want as well. Okay, or we're gonna hover. You're gonna step the left foot to the outside or towards the outside of that right hand. Bring the right foot together and just crouch down a little bit. Bend your elbows, bend your knees, and then step your left foot back and then your right foot back to the tabletop. Put the knees down, inhale, lift the tail, lift the heart. Exhale, round everything in. Try that again. Come to neutral, lift your knees an inch off the floor. Step your right foot towards the outside of your left hand and then your left foot. Squeeze your legs together and try to bend your elbows, bend your knees. Step it back into your tabletop position. Take the knees down. Inhale, lift the tail, lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the tail, round your spine. We're gonna try that one more time on each side. So lengthen your spine here, curl the toes under, lift your knees an inch off the floor. So step the left toes to the outside of the right hand, then the right. So this will eventually be a side Bakasana here. So knees trying to get above your elbow in the twist. And then you step it back into your tabletop and we'll just switch sides. Right foot to the outside of the left hand, bring the left foot to meet it, crouch down, and then step it back nice and slow. Find your tabletop. Good work. Sit back for a moment, release off your hands. Take a breath. When you're ready, come back into that tabletop position. We're going to extend the right leg back, reach through the heel. We're going to take that knee towards the opposite elbow, point through the toes, round it in. So try that again. Extend your right leg, reach through the back of your leg, and then bring that knee towards the opposite elbow, really squeezing those obliques. Again, like that. Lengthen, reach through the heel, spread through your toes, a nice stretch to the back of your leg, and then take that knee towards the opposite elbow, squeeze it in. Good. Reach that leg back up, inhale. Take the knee to your nose this time, round everything in, and then step forward towards your right thumb. Sweep your arms up to the sky on the inhale. Sink your hips a little bit here, engage through your left glute, and then sweep the arms back, fold towards the inside of your leg. Sweep the arms back so you feel the upper back turn on. Good. We're going to circle the arms all the way back up. Reach the right arm behind you and twist to the right. So like T formation in the arms. Take the fingertips to the hamstrings. Again, push your pelvis forward as you reach the left arm up and over, a little bit of a back bend here. I'm going to windmill the arms down to the ground or down to blocks if you have them. Okay, I'm going to push down through my right heel and see if I can come onto the top of my back foot. So I feel a nice stretch there through the top of my ankle. I'm spreading through my toes. Now see if you can press through your front foot a lot and lift over those back toes so that the heel plants. My toes are pointed forward. I'm in a hamstring stretch. Inhale, I'm going to lengthen. And then exhale, I'm going to fold myself in a little deeper. Inhale, I'm going to lengthen the crown of the head forward and peel the right arm up to the sky for the twist. Take the fingertips back down and then open up your twist. Reach the left arm up and over. So left arm up to the sky. Take the hand back down, bend your front knee, walk the blocks of the fingertips forward and lift your left leg up so that you're in a warrior 3 stance. Point through your top toes. I want you to lift your leg up a little higher, lift your chest up a little bit higher. So it's a little bit different from a regular warrior 3. And then you're gonna bend your bottom knee, walk your blocks with you if you'd like, come through center, stay low. You're gonna face the back of your mat. Take your right knee down to the ground so that you're in your low lunge again. Sweep your arms up, push your hips forward, reach your arms behind you a little bit more. And then sweep the arms back. Belly towards the inner thigh here. Reach the arms up a little bit higher. Circle the arms all the way up. Reach the left arm behind you as you rotate. You twist to the left. Take the fingertips behind the leg. Reach that right arm up and over. So you're a little bit of a back bend, a twist. And then windmill the arms down to blocks or down to the floor. Push through your front heel. And you're just going to see if you can come out of the top of your back foot here. So you get a stretch through the front of your ankle. And I want you to tuck your tailbone a little bit as well. Now push through your front foot. See if you can slide your foot in a little bit. Plant the foot. My toes are pointed forward. Inhale, I'm going to lengthen. And then exhale, I'm going to fold a little bit to my front thigh. Inhale, lengthen again. Reach your left arm up. Rotate to the left. Back through center. If you're not using blocks, you can be on your fingertips here. Reach your right arm up. Take your fingertips down, bend into your left knee, come into that warrior 3. So I call this toppling tree here. So that right leg lifts up a little higher. I also start to back bend a bit more into my upper back. Lift up a little higher and then bend your bottom knee. Take your blocks with you, go through center, face the front of your mat, take your left knee down to the ground. If you have blocks, you're walking the blocks back beside the hips. Highest height. Okay, I'm going to take that left arm up to the sky and I'm going to tip over to the right. Okay, so this right hand can be on the block. It can be just hanging, or you can take the hand to the top of your right thigh and just encourage the heaviness in that right hip crease as you lift the left arm up. We'll come back through center and switch sides. So again, hand can come down to the block and come down to the ground, okay? Or you're just hovering the arm as you reach the right arm up and over. Breathing into the right waist, the right rib cage, getting into the low back here as well. Come back through center. We just found a ton of space here. Take your hands to your heart and start to twist to the right. Take the elbow to the outside of the knee and try to resist the 2 as you rotate. You start to twist to the right. So drawing the right shoulder back. See if you can lift your bottom ribs and your obliques are really turned on to help you with this twist. Now curl the toes under and lift your knee off the floor. Really squeeze that back leg. Look down. Now take a few steps here. Look down, press through your front heel. Step your left foot forward, step it forward again, and keep rotating the twist to the right in your chair. Come up to stand, keep twisting to the right, and then face forward. Okay, bend your knees into that chair position, wide feet, twist to your right. Standing up tall, but keep twisting to the right. Draw your left hip back and then face forward, Samasthiti. One more time. Take a seat into your chair. Twist to your right. Standing up tall, push through your heels and then come back to Samasthiti. Take a seat into your chair. Reach your arms up to the sky. Sink a little deeper and then belly comes to your thighs. Straighten your legs. Let your head go, forward fold. Halfway lift when you get there, inhale. Take your hands down to the ground, step back into a plank position for a moment. Okay, so feet are about hips distance, hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your tail, use your glutes. Take your knees down to the floor. Reach your heart forward, find a Chaturanga here. So hug the elbows in alongside the body, reach the chest forward, bend your elbows, push yourself up, arch through your spine. So lift your tail, drop your belly, open up your chest. Curl your toes under, sit back towards your heels like a child's pose. And then come forward into your downward dog. So I come forward, I lift my hips up and back, downward dog. Take a couple moments in your dog to pedal the heels, to sway the hips, to shake out the head a little bit. Open and close the mouth, release through your jaw. Good, one more good breath here. And then whenever you're ready, we're gonna slowly come down to the hands and knees. Great work. Okay, so coming back into that tabletop position again, you're gonna extend your left leg. So reaching through your heel, opening up to the back of your leg, and then take that knee towards the opposite elbow. Again, like that, extending, trying to keep your pelvis as level as you can to the floor, and then take that knee across the body without dropping this left hip. Extend it, so I'm opening up, I'm lengthening through that hip crease area, and then I'm using the hip flexors here. I'm using the obliques here to bring my knee a little closer. Good, one more time, extend. Take your knee to your nose, round everything and push, 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 and then step forward. You can wiggle your knee back if you'd like. Sweep your arms up to the sky, low lunge. Sink your pelvis. Good, engaging through your back glute. And then reach the arms back, fold yourself in towards that thigh. Reach the arms up a little higher. Hug your shoulders into your back. Good, sweep the arms up and keep twisting to the left. Left arm goes back, opening up through your chest. Take your fingertips behind your leg. Push the hamstring and the hip forward with your hands. Take that right arm up and over. Windmill the arms down to the ground or down to your blocks. Good, push down through your front heel, push down through your back foot, and really tuck the tail here a little bit so you start to feel that stretch through the top of your ankle, top of your foot. Now push through your front heel and see if you can go up and over your back toes. Plant your heel to the floor. Inhale, I lengthen. Blocks can heighten here if you'd like. Exhale, fold yourself in a little deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Tailbone reaches back as you lengthen your left arm up to the sky. Twist. Back through center. It's a little bit more challenging than having your heel turned in. Reach the right arm up. Open up your twist. Take the hand back down. Bend your front knee back into that toppling tree. So I'm lifting the right leg. So usually we try to get it parallel. I want you to get up a little bit higher. So somewhere in between standing splits and your warrior three. And then lift your chest up. So I'm finding all the muscles along the spine starting to turn on. When you're ready, take your toes down slowly. Turn to the right, come through center, stay low. Take your blocks with you if you'd like. Take your left knee down to the ground. You're facing the back of your mat. Sweep your arms up to the sky, low lunge. So sink again, the pelvis down and forward. Reach the arms behind you a bit more. And then reach the arms back, fold towards the inner thigh. See if you can lift the pinky finger edge up a bit more. Reach the arms back up, but keep rotating to your right. Right arm reaches behind you. Open up the right chest. Take the fingertips to the back of the leg. I'm pushing the hamstring and the hip forward with my fingertips a little bit, encouraging that space in the front of your hip. Okay, windmill the arms down to blocks of the ground, pushing through the top of your left foot. Okay, lift the knee, really tuck, tuck, tuck here. Let your head go until you feel that nice stretch in the front of the ankle. Now pushing through your front foot, go up and over your back toes as much as you can. So you come into this hamstring stretch. You're gonna inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold yourself in. Really spread through your toes here. Inhale, lengthen. Tailbone and crown of the head reach away from each other as you reach the right arm up. Back through center, inhale. Left arm lifts up, exhale. Take the hand back down, bend your front knee, go into that toppling tree. Bend the knee, walk the fingertips forward so they're underneath your shoulders. Point your top toes. Now try to lift that leg up a little higher. Lift your chest up a little higher so it's somewhere in between standing splits and warrior three. Okay, when you're ready, reach those toes to the floor. Take your blocks with you if you're using them. Come through center, stay bent. Face the front of the mat, take your right knee to the floor. Low lunge again, walk the blocks back beside your hips. Okay, take that right arm up to the sky. So again, hand can be on the top of your thigh, it can be on your block or down to the floor. And you're gonna start to tip over to your left. Okay, so feel this left sit bone heavy. Again, you're engaging through that right glute. I wanna feel a nice stretch there through the side, to the side body and into the low back. We'll come back through center, Right hand goes to the block or down to the ground. Reach that left arm up and over. So again, what I'm trying to find is just lots of space here. This will help with our twisting, lengthening. And then we'll come back through center. Take your hands to the heart. We're going to twist. So rotate first, twist to the left. Take the elbow to the outside of your knee. Resist those two. Push the palms together. And then try to rotate that left shoulder open a bit more. So draw it back. I'm lifting my bottom ribs. And I'm engaging my bottom oblique. Now look down. Push through your front heel. See if you can lift your back knee off the ground. Keep rotating. Keep twisting. Now look down, here's the fun part. A couple steps to the top of the mat. Look down, step your right foot forward a little bit, then bring it all the way to the top of the mat. So my feet are wide, I'm still twisting. I'm gonna stand nice and tall, keep twisting to the left. Face the front of the mat, Samasthiti, and then take a seat into your chair again, bend your knees. Good, rotate to your left. Stand up tall, but keep twisting. Draw your right hip back, and then face forward, Samasthiti. Take a seat into your chair, weight into your heels, spread your toes, and then twist a little deeper. So this is nice and active. Standing tall, face the front of your mat. Take a seat into your chair, pause here. Lift your arms up, bring your chin in a little bit, drop your hips a little heavier, lift your toes off the mat, and then belly comes to your thighs. Straighten your legs a little bit more as you fold, let your head go. Halfway lift, inhale, fingertips to your shins. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step into your plank position, pause. So your feet are hips distance, ankles are hugging in, wrists are hugging in towards center as well, and then really puff up in between your shoulder blades. Take your knees to the floor. Shoulders are going past your wrists, so lean forward, then bend your elbows. Try to have the elbows shave the side of your body. Push yourself up. Good, arch through your spine. So lift your tail, drop your belly, open up your chest a little. Curl the toes under, sit back towards a child's pose. And then you can round yourself forward to get into this. So I come forward, I curl the toes under, and then I extend my spine back into my downward dog. So making it a little more fluid, a little more wave-like. Okay, again, you can find some movements here, or you're finding some stillness. Breathing through your nose for 1. Breathing for 2. 1 more breath. When you're ready, we're gonna look forward. You're going to bend your knees generously. Walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. This time, let's try to bring our big toes to touch. Halfway lift, inhale, fingertips to the shins or the mat. Exhale, fold yourself in, hands behind your legs or down to the ground. Sweep your arms all the way up to the sky on the inhale. Shoulder distance or palms to touch. And then standing tall, Samasthiti, hands to the heart or down by your side. Take a breath here, inhale. And exhale. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, we'll sweep the arms up, gaze up lightly with your eyes. And then lengthen forward, so you're hinging. And then I'm folding myself into my thighs. Halfway lift, I'm extending through my heart. Bend your knees, plant your hands, stepping or hopping to your plank. So find your plank position first, then reach your shoulders forward, lower all the way down to the ground. Try to bring everything down at once. Your knees can come to the floor as well. Roll the shoulders into the back, tops of the feet to the floor. Lift your heart. Slowly come down, press yourself up. Front body draws up into the back body. Curl the toes under, hips up and back, downward dog. Okay, and you can walk your feet in a little bit here as well. You can also bend your knees. Try to lift your tailbone up. Try to push through your hands and try to wrap your triceps down. Take 1 more good breath here. Try to listen to the sound of your breath with 1 ear. We're gonna look forward, bend your knees, walk, step, or hop. So use this momentum to get you up there. Halfway lift, big toes to touch. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Sweep your arms up, find a bit more length. Standing tall, Samasthiti. Let's try that again. Inhale, full breath in, moving meditation. Exhale, full breath out as you fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Bend your knees, plant your hands, stepping or hopping to your plank with control. Reach your heart forward. Then bend your elbows. Again, feel free to use your knees. Chaturanga this time. Pull the heart through the arms. Push down through the feet, lift the kneecaps. Good, up and over the toes or 1 foot at a time. Downward facing dog. Another option is to come down onto your forearms if you need a little break in the wrists as well. So again, really listening to what your body needs, right? Don't just do it because I say to do it. Make sure you're like, no, that's not feeling good to me today, or, you know, I'm not feeling up to that today, or I need a break here at one point. So just making sure that you're listening. I'm just guiding you. I'm just giving you some ideas. One more breath. Good. We're going to look forward, bend your knees, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift when you get there. Inhale. Exhale, fold it in. Bend your knees, find your chair pose, sweep your arms up to the sky. Good. Belly to your thighs, and then straighten your legs a little bit more as you fold. Good. Halfway lift. Inhale. Take your fingertips down to the ground. Step your left leg back. Turn your heel in and down. Bend your front knee. Sweep your arms up for warrior one. Take your hands down to your heart. Straighten your front leg. Pivot to face the back of your mat. Left toes back. Turn your back toes in. Reach your arms up. Warrior one. Take your hands down to the ground. Lift your back heel. Step back to your plank. So this can be your vinyasa. It can also be a cat and cow. Upward dog or cobra as your back bends. And then push yourself up and back to your downward dog. Taking a nice good inhale here. Wrapping those armpits towards your heart. Exhale. Let's look forward. Bend your knees. Walk, step, or hop towards the back of your mat. Halfway lift. Inhale. Open up through the backs of your knees. Exhale. Fold yourself in a little deeper. Bend your knees, find your chair pose, weight into your heels, sweep your arms up, and then standing tall, Samasthiti. One more time, bend your knees, find your chair pose, inhale. Belly to your thighs, exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Take your fingertips to the floor, bend your knees, step your right leg back, turn your heel in and down, bend your front knee, and then sweep your arms up, warrior one. Straightening through your front leg, pivot to face the front of your mat. So move through your feet, bend your front knee, warrior one. Good, take your hands down, lift your back heel, vinyasa, step to your plank, reach your heart forward, chaturanga or down to the ground, cobra or upward dog. Again, this can be cat and cow, up and over the toes or use your knees, downward facing dog. So taking a nice good breath here, feeling the heat. We'll take the knees down to the ground, open the knees wide, big toes to touch, and sit back towards your heels. So rest your arms. They can be forward or they can be down by your side. If you want to block over, underneath your forehead, you can do that as well. And just take a few moments here just to feel the heat. Feel what's happening inside of the body. See what shifts have been taking place. And it's so nice to take little rests in between here so that you can really just feel. You can start to connect more. You can enjoy all of your work. Taking one more good breath here. And when you're ready, we're going to slowly start to come forward to the tabletop. Now you can do all of this in tabletop. So we've done all of this. It's just going to be a little bit of a different variation now. So you can always come back down to your knees whenever you need to. You're going to curl the toes under if you want to go a little further and go into your downward dog. Okay, so we're going to reach my right leg up and back just like I did at the beginning. Extend through your heel and then tap your knee across your body towards the opposite elbow. You're in your plank. Try that again. Inhale, I reach the right leg up. And then exhale, I take the knee across the body towards the opposite elbow. Try that one more time. Inhale. Try not to let anything drop to the ground. Everything is lifting, back body up to the sky. Now reach it back up. Inhale. Take your knee to your nose. Tuck your tail round, 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 and then step forward. Okay, so take a moment to find your lunge. Toes are pointed forward. Sweep your arms up to the sky. Okay, so sink your hips. Draw that right hip back, left thigh a bit forward. Take one more breath here. Draw your shoulders back, maybe lean back a bit more. I'm going to clasp my hands behind my back. You can also use your strap here if you want, in between your hands. You're going to draw your knuckles down, and then I'm going to start to fold towards the inside of my thigh. Okay, so reach the knuckles back, gaze is straight down. Try to lift your shoulder heads up. Take one more breath. I know it's a lot. Okay, we'll release the knuckles, bend your elbows, release the arms up to the sky, and then twist to the right. Left arm forward, right arm back. Okay, so it's nice and active here. I'm hugging those inner thighs into center. I'm trying to pull that right shoulder back a bit. I'm using my side abdominals. Then take the fingertips to the hamstring, bend your back knee, reach that left arm up. You can gaze up or forward. Again, I'm using these fingertips to kind of encourage the hip to reach forward. Good. Windmill your arms down to the ground or down to blocks. Okay, I'm going to turn my back heel in and down, just like I was doing in that warrior one. Heels are somewhat in line. I'm using the blocks here at the highest height, framing my front foot, or I'm on my fingertips. So I'm going to inhale, lengthen here, tailbone back, crown of the head forward. I might stay right here. Okay, if I want to go for a little bit further, inhale. Then I'm exhaling, I'm folding, I'm bending the elbows. Maybe I'm taking the blocks down a little lower. And I'm folding towards my right thigh. Chin is in a little bit, so I'm not just letting my head completely go. And then again, I'm trying to pull the right thigh back, the left hip a bit more forward. Okay, now keeping all this work in the legs, you're going to inhale, lengthen again through the spine. Okay, so I'm going to rotate to the right, so revolve triangle. I keep my left hand on the block, or I can take my left hand to the outer block. That gets a little bit more challenging. Okay, so you're going to peel the right arm up, see how that feels. If you want to go a little further, you take your hand to the outside and keep opening up your right shoulder. Holding for one. So try to breathe. So once we get a little bit more control with the breath, it's a little bit easier to hold the postures. It helps to calm the body down, slow the body down. And then we'll take the hand down back to the block or the floor. Bend your front knee, lift your back heel, come into that toppling tree again. So walk the blocks with the fingertips forward, lift that leg up a little higher than it normally goes, and then lift your chest up without dropping your belly. So I still want to feel this lift of my front body into my back body. So it's supporting the back bend, right? The front body supporting the back. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly take that knee into your chest. Bring your feet together at the top of the mat. Good, I'm going to take my hands to my heart and come into my chair pose. Okay, so weight into your heels. It's like I could lift my toes off the ground if I wanted to. Now start to twist to the right. Take the elbow to the outside of the knee if you want to go a little further. Okay, you can stay right here the whole time. Okay, or you're lifting your heels and you're going to come down into a squat. This might be where you stay too. This is a good balance pose. Hug your ankles in, hug your knees in, keep twisting. If you want to try the arm balance today, just for fun, you're going to take your hands down to the ground. So I'm twisting to the right, okay? My elbow is just below. It's trying to get right down the leg here as much as I can, okay? So my knee is above my elbow. I lean forward into my hands. My hands are about a little wider than my shoulders, okay? And then I lean into my hands. It's just like a chaturanga. Hug my forearms in, and I play with maybe lifting the feet off the ground. Now you really need to squeeze your legs together and squeeze your big toes together. So all the stuff we were doing on our back at the beginning of class, okay? And just leaning, bending, lifting. Okay, once you've played a little bit, you're gonna come all the way back through center. I'm gonna stay on my toes. If you can, you're coming down to the toes. And just stay here for a moment. You can be on blocks here with your hands, or you can take your hands to your heart and just challenge yourself here. Okay, I'm trying to lift the pelvic floor, which will help me to find these deeper abdominal muscles here, these lower abdominal muscles. And then when you're ready, fingertips come down to the ground, lift your hips up. Good, I'm gonna toe heel my feet out about hips distance. You're gonna take your hands underneath your feet. So taking the toes right to the creases of the wrists, standing on your palms. You're gonna inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, draw your elbows towards your shins and fold. Now, if this is too much, I want you to bend your knees generously. Okay, if that's still too much, you take the hands to blocks on the outsides of your feet, or you take them right to the ground here. Okay, so just getting a nice wrist stretch, pressing down through each finger. Taking one more breath here. Now slowly release your hands. Shake them out if you need to. Now you're going to take your left hand to either your right knee or the outer edge of that right foot. Okay, so this is where you might want to use a wall here. Okay, you're going to gaze straight down. I'm going to try to lift my right foot off of the ground. And then I'm going to slowly start to come up to stand. Okay, so I'm going to twist to the right. So again, a hand can be on the knee or the foot, and you're starting to rotate to the right. Okay, so I'm going to try to straighten my bottom leg, open up my chest. Okay, again, hand can be on a wall. You can also just stay pointed forward if you want and not do the twist. Okay, just taking one more breath here. I want to stay holding on to the leg. I'm going to look down. I'm going to start to bring the right knee on top of the left. So squeeze the legs so they're like you're going to do eagle legs. Point your toes. Take your hands to blocks or the floor. Okay, I'm going to try to straighten my bottom leg. Point the toes towards this left bum cheek. Okay, and draw your right hip back. You stay here if you want, or you're rotating to the left. Reach your left arm up towards the sky. So squeeze your knees, squeeze your outer hips together. Take one more breath. Slowly take your hand down. Good, gaze is down. Okay, pay attention here. Keep your gaze down. Take that right knee into your chest. Go slow. Reach your arms up to the sky. Take your foot down with control, and then exhale, fold. Good work. Halfway lift, inhale. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to your plank position. Then come down to your knees, Chaturanga. Reach your heart forward. Push yourself up, puff up in between the shoulders. Arching through the spine, lift the tail, lift the heart. Curl your toes under, sit back towards your child's pose. Roll yourself forward first. So really round into that cat position, and then lift your hips up and back. Find your downward dog. Unravel your spine. Good, taking a nice good breath here. Inhale. And a nice generous exhale. So again, you can come down to tabletop if that works for you today, or you're staying in the downward dog. We're going to reach the left leg up and back, and then take the knee across the body towards your opposite elbow in the plank. Again, like that. Inhaling, lifting it up. Exhaling, bringing it across the body. So really engaging those side abdominals. Try that again. Staying nice and strong. Inhale. Pushing through your index finger and thumb a little bit more is going to help you really connect to your arms and your shoulders. Good. Reach it up and back. Inhale. Take the knee to the nose. Now really tuck your tail, lift your navel, knee to your nose, and then step it forward. Okay, on your fingertips, toes are pointed forward. Okay, coming all the way up into the high lunge. Okay, so sinking through the hips, drawing that left hip back, right hip a bit more forward, and then draw the arms back a bit more so you feel the upper back, you feel the shoulders. You're gonna clasp the hands behind the back, or you're holding onto your strap here in between your hands. Draw your knuckles down, open up through your chest, and then you're gonna fold halfway. So try to bring your chest in between your thighs. Reach the knuckles back. The gaze is straight down. I know it's a lot, stay with it. Hug your upper inner thighs together. Okay, bend your elbows, release your knuckles, sweep your arms up, and you're twisting to your left. Right arm forward, left arm back. So everything's really active here. You're not gonna get as deep as you normally do. You can bend this back knee a little bit if you want, so that you can try to get your shoulders above your pelvis. And then take the fingertips behind the hamstring. Again, encouraging the hip forward with those fingers. Reach the right arm up and over. Gaze is up or forward, breathe. There might be some shaking here, try to stay with it, breathe. Windmill your arms down to blocks or the ground. Take your back heel in and down. So heels are somewhat in line here, just like that warrior one. Okay, wrap your left hip back, your right hip forward. You're gonna inhale, lengthen. I might stay right here. This feels really nice. I'm lengthening through my spine. If I wanna go a little bit deeper into the hamstring, I'm gonna fold. So chin is in a little bit, so my core stays really turned on. I'm not just hanging out here. And I'm gonna breathe into the belly of this left hamstring, really pushing through the toes. In our revolved triangle, it's usually the hamstring, right? That is really holds us back in this twist. Just getting in a couple moments here to kind of find a bit more space, a bit more length. Okay, and then I'm gonna lengthen. So again, these blocks can be any height that you need. Okay, they're surrounding the foot. So it's easier to have the block on the inside of the foot. It gets more challenging as you take the hand to the outside of the block. Okay, so you're gonna inhale, lengthen, and just see how it feels first. So maybe reach that left arm up, stay there. If you're like, yeah, go a little further, you can take the hand to the outside block and then keep rotating. So really stay rooted into your feet. Big toes are really heavy, heels are pressing down. If you need to, bend your left knee a little bit if it's a lot in the hamstring. I'm gonna take the hand down slowly, bend the front knee, walk the blocks of the fingertips forward, and again, coming into that toppling tree. Okay, so wrapping the right hip down, lifting that leg up a little higher. I'm using my hamstring a lot here. I'm using my glutes. Lift your chest, maybe hover your hands if you want, and then bend your knee into your chest. Bring your feet together. Woo. Take your hands to your heart, find your chair. Okay, weight into your heels, spread your toes, maybe lift them off the ground, and then start to twist to your left. So you can stay here, or you're gonna take your elbow to the outside of the knee, press the hands together. If you wanna go further, you're lifting your heels, you're coming down into the squat. So you can stay here the whole time in the squat, okay? If you wanna play with the arm balance today, we'll give it a shot. Hug your ankles in, hug your knees in, take your hands down, okay? So I'm twisting to the left. My hands are a little wider than my shoulders. Hug your forearms in and just lean. So again, I want this elbow down my knee. I want it into my thigh as much as I can. And then you're leaning and pushing, just getting used to having a little bit of weight on your hands. You might surprise yourself, right? The deeper this twist gets, the easier this arm balance becomes. Don't let your face drop. Don't let your chest drop. Gaze is straight down and just play. That's all. Just play. And then once you've given it a try a few times, come back into that squat position. This time, let's walk the feet a little wider. Take your heels towards the floor and come into your squats. So try to get the heels to the ground. Turn your toes out a little bit. Take your hands to your heart. And as I push my palms together, I push my knees into my arms. I start to feel this lift of my pelvic floor. And again, I'm getting into those deeper abdominal muscles that wrap around my waist like a corset. Take one more good breath here. Great work. Take your fingertips to the floor. Lift your hips. Turn your toes to point forward. Good. Okay, so this time I'm going to be on the bottoms of my hands. I'm going to turn my fingertips out and back. And then I'm going to see if I can step my feet onto the top of my hands this time. Okay, if you want to do the other version, you can too. Bend your elbows, you're inhaling, and then exhaling. So again, wrist stretch, you can straighten the legs a bit more if it feels okay, and the hamstrings, but really make it about the forearms and the wrists. Really pressing the toes into the hands. Okay, when you're ready, look down, release the hands. Feel free to shake it out a little bit. Okay, so you're taking your right hand to your opposite leg. So to your left leg, it can be to your knee or to the outer edge of your foot. So gaze is down, keep it down the whole time. Hover your foot first. So hover your left foot, go slow. Stay nice and strong in your right glute. And then start to rotate to the left. So your gaze can stay forward this whole time. That will help. Eventually it'll turn to the side. Okay, you can also hold on to your knee. Take one more breath here in the balance. You're going to stay holding onto your leg. I'm going to cross that knee on top of the bottom knee. Go slow. It's like you're going to go into eagle legs. Okay, take your fingertips to blocks of the floor. I'm pointing those left toes towards my right bum cheek. Okay, try to straighten your bottom leg and then peel your right arm up. So twisting to the right. Try again to draw your left hip back. Good. And really bring that right heel, so that left heel towards the right bum cheek. Okay, now nice and slowly. I want to come out as slowly as I went in this. So looking down, bend your bottom knee a little bit. Come up as you take your left knee into your chest. Go nice and slow. And then take your foot down. Exhale, let her go, fold. Good work. Halfway lift, inhale. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step to your plank. Okay, take your knees down if you want, Chaturanga. Push yourself up. Arch through your spine. So wherever you are, just lift your chest, open up, and then come into the child's pose. Curl your toes under, sit back towards your heels. Round yourself forward like you're doing a cat position, and then lift your hips up and back, downward dog. Good. Take a nice, good breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Okay, looking down, take your knees to the floor. Come onto one hip and extend the legs forward. Let's grab our pillow and our strap. Okay, so we'll take the strap down with us. And you're gonna come all the way down onto your back. So I'm gonna take the pillow horizontal on my mat, so it's underneath my pelvis. Okay, and just take a moment here, just like we started. Take the hands to the belly, relax the back of your hips, soften through your glutes. Good. We're going to take that strap. We're going to take it around the right foot. And you're going to extend. So if you're not using the strap, you can just take your hands to the back of the hamstrings, clasp the fingers. Okay, and then I'm going to see if I can extend my left leg forward. Okay, so I'm walking my hands down as much as I can down the strap. Maybe the elbows come towards the ground. And I'm just trying to open up through the front of my left hip. So really trying to wrap the bottom inner thigh in and down towards the earth. Good. And just trying to spiral this top inner thigh a little bit in and towards your face. As you reach through the strap, you reach through the foot. Take one more breath here. And then we'll take the strap into the left hand and just bring the leg a little bit over to the left, but keep the right hip on the bolster, on the pillow. This can also be, your hand can also be on the leg here, just bringing the leg over to the side of it. So you're feeling this in the outer thigh, the outer hip. And then we'll come back through center. You're gonna bend both your knees. Take your feet both into the strap here and just open up the legs. It's like a happy baby. Okay, both feet are in the strap or you're holding on to your legs in the happy baby. And then we'll slowly bring the feet in. Okay, so this time the strap's on the left foot. Extend your right leg down along the mat. Okay, and you're just working towards extension, okay? You're working towards bringing the leg a little bit closer to your chest, that's all. Walk your hands down the strap a bit or you're holding on to the back of the leg. Okay, and just hold here. Feeling again, those inner thighs. I wanna feel them wrapping in, okay? My bottom inner thigh is wrapping in and down towards the mat. My top inner thigh is wrapping in and kind of up. So this left hip, this left thigh drops a bit. And reach the foot through the strap as much as you can. really opening up through the back of your knee. So just challenging that hamstring. We're going to take the strap into the right hand and take the leg a little bit over to the right. The hand can also be on the outside of the leg. Just try to keep this left hip heavy. I know it's intense for some of us anyways. And we'll come back through center. Good, and we'll take both our feet into the strap, or you're just extending both your legs up. And just again, working towards straightening. It's nice having the strap, and you can kind of let go. You can relax a bit in the legs and just let them hang. Sometimes it's hard to relax when the legs are just hanging in space. Just take a few moments in this nice inversion. The legs are higher than the heart. It's very soothing, it's very calming. It gives the heart a little bit of time to rest. Then when you're ready, we're going to bend the knees. We'll release the strap. Just take the feet back down to the floor. Just take a moment here, inhaling. Pausing at the top and then exhaling. You're going to press down into the feet. You're going to lift your hips off of the bolster. And I'm just going to kind of come into a little bit of a butterfly shape here. So bottoms of the feet close together or touching, knees wide. And your arms can come down by your side. Just taking a few moments in this shape before we settle into our Shavasana. Just relaxing the inner thighs as much as you can. Try to soften through your glutes. I'm just starting to feel the shoulders nestling into the ground. The palms are up to the sky. Fingertips are naturally curling in towards the palm. This is feeling pretty nice for you today. You can stay here, or you can start to extend the legs out. We'll inhale here again, taking a gentle pause at the top. And try to exhale everything out of the lungs. And take a few of those if you need, to help you acclimatize, to help you settle. For these next few moments, I want you to really work on being in this moment. So at home, it's really easy to get distracted. It's really easy to skip this pose. But the whole purpose of our practice is to get us here. To help us learn how to be still, how to let go, how to connect to these deeper parts of ourselves. Trying to unravel this physical body. go of whatever it is. Keep it gripping. It's physically, it's mentally, it's emotionally. Allowing yourself to let go of it, even if it's just a little bit. Just see how that feels. Notice what space is opened up to you. Please feel free to stay here longer, especially if this is feeling really nice right now. You're ready to start coming out. Just make the movements very gentle, hands and in your feet. Hugging the knees into the chest. Coming over onto your side. Pressing into the top hand, you'll slowly come up to a seat. Feels comfortable to you. You can be on your prop as well. Try to keep the eyes closed. You settle into your seats. Take the hands together in front of the heart. Bringing the chin towards the chest, bowing inwards. Thank all of you so much for sharing your energy today. Bowing our heads in complete gratitude. Namaste. Take your time, drink lots of water. Any questions or comments, let me know. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm also teaching now on Tuesday mornings at 7:30. So if there's any early bird people before work, check it out. If not, I'll see you next Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Patricia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. Have a super Sunday. We'll see you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday.